I need to change my intro on the TikTok. I gotta watch my phone battery too. Got it plugged up to the computer. Let's see if it actually charges. Let's see. All right. What's up, everybody? What's up, Johnny? What's up, Jay Will? How's it going? What's up, Bustin? I got a cough drop in my mouth. Hey, Tiggy. I have a cough drop because I've been getting my ass kicked with a cold lately. So I'm sipping on some tea and I've got a cough drop. Oh, what's up, Ra? Nirvana? We actually got here early. Right at the beginning. A little bit spicier of a background, Bustin', just slightly. I need a whiskey, I know. Hello, Mary. Yeah, I do, but well, I'm going another 30 days without drinking, so I'm not going to drink until April 10th. So I went 33 days, and now I'm going 30 more after I drank last weekend. Hello, sir. How are you enjoying our journey through space this day? I like that comment. Probably Jameson or Makers, but I think I go with I pretty much default, I think, to Jameson. Why the dry spell? I don't know. I just feel like I needed it, like my body needed it physically. You're trying to stop? No, I'm not trying to stop. I'm just taking a break to just kind of reset the body, you know, reset the system. Yeah, thank you, Peace Nuts. What a great comment a while ago too. You do that once in a while? Yeah. I mean, it's actually been really nice. It really has. It's been, I think it's been really beneficial, actually. For those 33 days. Hey, Bo! How did I not get a notification that you were doing your live? What's up? I don't know why I can't see all that. Oh, wait. I don't know why I can't see all that comment. A box upon the TikTok algorithm. Hey, what's up, Vic? Austin. How's it going, my friends? I have a cough drop in my mouth. I've been getting my ass kicked with a cold. I even fast once in a while just to detox. Oh, wow. The legend is live. Thank you, Seven. Good to see you, my friend. Evangelist trying to sell me their Jesus. Yeah, there's not a shortage. There's not a shortage of them. Yeah, you're early. No, I just got on. Hey, Mark. All right, man. Thank you. Good to see you, my friend. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been getting my ass kicked with a cold, so I got a cough drop and I'm sipping on some tea. Okay, Peace Nuts. I appreciate you stopping in with that awesome comment too. I like that. As we journey through space. Look at my shirt. You can get it on rickquestionsthings.com, but surfing through space. I should have pointed that out. I hope you saw that. You weren't gone before you saw it. Thought you were a little Christian priest. Did you really? No. I need to put in my drops. Already put some in. Oh, thank you, Mark. Yeah, I have all kinds of shirts like this on rickquestionsthings.com. Oh, you did see it. Cool. Make us a collab. Yeah, we should. Send me a message. One of your favorite shirts. What's up, Taysha? Balrog, what's up, my friend? The Lord is Lord. Cooking salmon. Nice. I love salmon. I like to grill salmon on cedar planks. Amazing. The best way to do it. Absolutely the best way to do it. Cedar plank salmon. Do you know what a reverse exorcism is? It's where the devil tells the priest to get out of the Oh, man. That's going to get me kicked out. After I wrote that comment on YouTube, I looked over at my phone and I did get a notification. Oh, awesome. Well, good. I'm glad you did. I'm glad we can remove the curse from TikTok. I'm glad that Brian as much joy as it did me. All right, already I'm missing some comments, but I apologize. I'll catch your comments here and there. Even though you do this, know that it isn't too late, and you'll be forgiven when you choose to have faith in Jesus. Well, I don't believe in Jesus, and I walked that walk already, and I discovered that Jesus is not true. He's not real. He's not alive, all right? So if there was a Jesus guy, he died just like anybody else, and that's a big if there was a Jesus guy. But the Jesus you read about in the New Testament did not exist. That's a fabrication. It's a fabrication. Did not exist. That Jesus did not exist. Let's see. And, you have to have faith. You have to believe. Do you start? No, I got my stitches out finally. Yes. Thank you, Beston. And we have all these little fruit flies. So my son loves bugs. And so we collected all these snails and put them in an aquarium. And we started putting fruit in there for them to eat, and the fruit would just kind of sit. And man, suddenly we had all these fruit flies. So now they're everywhere, so we had to get rid of the fruit. And now we got to get rid of the fruit flies. Here's those too. Oh, man. So you have to believe in Jesus, right? So back to that comment. You believe in Jesus. And it's just a belief. It's just a belief. And you're believing the beliefs of ancient human beings. You cannot know Jesus because Jesus isn't alive. He doesn't exist. And if Jesus existed as a person, he died just like anybody else. But the Jesus you read about in the New Testament did not exist. That's a fabrication. All of those stories are not trustworthy. They're not true. Choosing not to believe. I do not believe. I do not believe because it isn't true. So when I when I went to seminary, got a Master's of Arts in Religion. I was a pastor for several years, and I intellectually worked my way out of the religion. I intellectually discovered that Christianity is not true. Hey, Bo, could you hear me on YouTube when you were on the stream? I'm assuming you could. Here we go, release the parrots. The numbers dropped significantly. TikTok, I don't know. That's the thing on TikTok lately with me. No matter what I put. Yeah, D Pooh. Man, I love that book. I haven't read it in years, but it's such a good book, Matt. Yeah, I love it. You'll have no issue going to Sheol. Well, Sheol doesn't exist either, my friend. It's a belief. It's an ancient belief. It's a belief of ancient human beings. What is the logical conclusion of this philosophy? Do whatever you want. So you think we need a God to be good human beings. That's your argument, probably. Yes, but it's got a scratchy quality to it. Does it really? I wonder why. Not because of your cold. Huh. I wonder why. That's weird. And it is picking up. Let me adjust this. Hello. Are you still on the YouTube stream? Hello. That might be it. Maybe. I don't know. Bo, are you still on the YouTube stream? I certainly understand why bad people need Jesus, right? Yeah, I'm just wondering if it's still scratchy. I'm adjusting some things here on my little Focusrite. Just wondering what's your evidence that isn't true. Well, I discovered the historical context out of which the New Testament emerged. And when I found out that the New Testament is a response to the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE, then it all collapsed and crumbled away from me. So I realized, and you can go on rickquestionsthings.com and read about this. You can read some of my posts. I don't write just about this, but I've written several posts on this. why Christianity isn't true, what I discovered intellectually. But when you really dig into the historical context out of which the religion emerged, out of which the New Testament emerged, you discover that the writers of the New Testament were supremely engaged with and taken up with the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE. They wanted to know, how could God allow this to happen? And so their response to it was that, it was God's judgment. It was the return of Jesus in judgment. So I've written all about that. If you go to rickquestionsthings.com, you'll see what I'm talking about. There is a post called Why I'm No Longer a Christian. There's another post called, it's titled Matthew 24 and the Coming of Jesus, and I show you why the New Testament does not teach that Jesus is going to come in the future, but that when it talks about Jesus coming in the future, it's talking about him coming in judgment against Jerusalem and the temple in 70 CE by the Romans. So the Romans coming in, destroying Jerusalem, taking the Jews into bondage again, really destroying many of them, destroying the temple. That was interpreted by the first century believers to be the judgment of God against unbelieving Israel, or against the rulers of Israel, which the New Testament has Jesus pronouncing the woes against and all. Surprising how many Christians don't know the history of first century Jerusalem. Right. Many books in the New Testament were written before 70 CE. That is not true. Or you said AD. That is not true. The Gospels, especially Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Revelation, the letters of John, they were not 100% not written before 70 CE. They were written after. In fact, the earliest fragment manuscript evidence we have of the New Testament is of the Gospels, and it is dated around 150 to 250 AD. There's a big spread there because we're really not sure, but it's between 150 to 250 AD. The most conservative dating of that manuscript evidence, most conservative, which isn't accurate most likely, is about 115 AD. So there's zero evidence, absolutely zero evidence that the New Testament was written prior to 70 CE. In fact, the evidence points to still scratchy, sounds oversaturated. Yeah, it does make sense. Volume sounds too loud. Let me see, Bo. Maybe if I just move the mic a little bit. What if I put it down here? Is that any better, Bo? Is that any better? If I'm a little further away from the mic, maybe. It's weird. It's funny because sometimes the mic, I have to get close to the mic in order for it to have good sound quality. And then tonight it seems that I need to be further away. I wonder if that's any better. There's also more of a lag. Yes, that's better. Okay, good. There's also more of a lag on the YouTube stream. It's not quite real time. Fearmongering is meaningless to us. Right. It doesn't work here. That's right, because we know that hell doesn't exist. Satan doesn't exist. Your God doesn't exist. Good, much better. Okay, awesome. I'll just have to have the mic a little bit further away. Yeah, the fear-mongering doesn't work for us because we've already walked that walk. We've been through it. We've gone through the fear of the supposed wrath of God coming, and we've done our research, and we have discovered that hell does not exist. Hell does not exist. Gehenna in the New Testament is a carryover from, and actually Gehenna is a transliteration of the Hebrew that means Valley of Hinnom. And the Valley of Hinnom in the Old Testament is all about the judgment of God by the hands of other nations, right? And the bodies of the Israelites are going to be laying in the Valley of Hinnom, which in the New Testament is Gehenna. And when you read about Gehenna in the New Testament, it has everything to do with the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE. So I'm reading a book right now by these guys on TikTok. I've been talking with these guys. It's called Christ Before Jesus: Evidence for the Second Century Origins of Jesus. And so I'm slowly making my way through this book because I don't have a whole lot of time. But so far it's interesting because it's a new take for me, because they are presenting evidence of a much later composition and writing of the New Testament. They are presenting evidence of late second century writings of all of the books of the New Testament, or at least most of them. And in my understanding, I think, it seems to me that they were written a little bit closer to 70 CE, but post 70 CE, no doubt. But a little bit closer. But they're arguing in this book for a much later dating of the New Testament writings. I'm going to be sniffling a lot on here. You're just going to have to deal with it. Because I've had a cold for a few days now. So you have hope that there are inherently good people. Interesting take that disappoint. Yes, there is no objective right or wrong. Let's do anything. Eat candy. So you don't have a name, but you that's commenting with the cool sunglasses emoji. You are, deal with it. You are just being emotional. So you're just arguing from emotion. And arguing from emotion doesn't make your argument true. So just because it bothers you that there's no objective right and wrong, and that there are no ultimate overarching metaphysical consequences for your supposed good or bad, that doesn't make it true. You're having an emotional reaction against that, but it doesn't make your reaction true. Oh, I thought you were being sarcastic. I thought you were. We can do anything. Regularly walk by hundreds or thousands of people with no worry of violence. Oh, right. Yeah, exactly. Oh, there you go. Vijapi, I'm glad you're here. Would the resurrection, if true, debunk monism? Well, the thing is about that question, Vijapi, about that question, if I'm saying your name right, is that the resurrection isn't true. There is zero evidence for the resurrection. There are zero eyewitness accounts of the resurrection. It is simply a belief, and it's a belief that is derived from writings that were written well after the supposed resurrection. And you can read. So I did write about the resurrection on rickquestionsthings.com, and it's called "The Truth Behind the Resurrection of Jesus." And I kind of give a reason for that story about the resurrection of Jesus. But, it's a hypothetical question to ask. If the resurrection is true, would that debunk monism? But it's a hypothetical that just we know isn't true. Jesus was not resurrected from the dead. And hypothetically, if Jesus was resurrected from the dead, well then, we would need to figure out what is going on with that, and we would probably need to start believing some of the other stories, right? But that's just a hypothetical, because we know that he wasn't raised from the dead. We know that he wasn't resurrected, right? So we can ask, all kinds of hypotheticals, and I think this is the way you should maybe think about it. A Muslim could ask the question, well, if Jesus was resurrected from the dead, would that contradict Islam, right? And yes, it would. But it's a hypothetical, and we know that he wasn't resurrected from the dead. So it really is a moot. It's a pointless question, right? Vishnu. Okay. Farhan. Oh, nice. Excellent. You preach advice like a televangelist. That's hilarious. I like that. I've never heard that before. That's so funny. Well, if only I raked in the millions like a televangelist, because those guys rake in millions of dollars. And you know what? If I put on a show like a televangelist and started preaching like a televangelist, I'd have 10,000 viewers on right now, because you could rake in the dough, man. Maybe that'll bring it. The bag and people. So Vishnu, I appreciate the question. I appreciate you so much, but that's how I would approach that, right? Just don't start talking in tongues. Right? Don't start speaking in tongues. I would approach that question, and if I had like Christian missionaries coming to me or whatever, I mean, I would just, be frank about it and say, you're speaking a hypothetical. You're telling me what you believe only. You're just telling me what you believe. You believe that Jesus was raised from the dead, but you cannot show me here in this present moment, where is Jesus? You can't show me the resurrected Jesus in this present moment, because in this present moment, which is all that exists, Jesus isn't here. He doesn't exist. He isn't here, right? So hypothetically, we could speak about Jesus being raised from the dead, but it's simply hypothetical. And we could actually carry that on to anything. Hypothetically, what if George Washington was raised from the dead? Would George Washington's resurrection from the dead, contradict Advaita, or contradict Islam, or contradict atheism, or any of those, right? So we could hypothetically speak about any of these things. Thank you, Jet. What's up, my friend? We could hypothetically talk about any of these things. Hypothetically, if Harry Potter was real, would that contradict Christianity? Would that contradict any of the religions out there? Would that contradict atheism, being that magic there would be something to magic, right? And so, we could state those hypotheticals in so many ways. So if I was being approached by Christian missionaries, I would bring that up. You're speaking hypothetical and you're just telling me what you believe. I could do the same thing in a gazillion different ways to you, Christian missionaries. I could tell you I believe in Harry Potter, right? And so we could talk about hypotheticals all day long. What would that mean? Thank you, Ra. What would that mean if Harry Potter was real? And but hypotheticals just aren't worth our time. Hypotheticals and those beliefs just really aren't worth our time, because they're irrelevant. They're irrelevant to us. They're irrelevant to this present moment. This present moment, which is all that exists, this moment right here, this is existence. Be back in a bit. Okay, Tasha. This present moment, which is all that exists, it's all anything outside of this is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Does that make sense, Vishnu? I'll see you in a bit, Tasha and Austin. Do you actually talk to Christian missionaries anymore? It's been years. It's been years. Sometimes I see Mormons walking down. They've always come to my house when I'm not here, or I'm in the shower or something like that. But I haven't. I used to talk to Mormons when I was a Christian pastor. I used to talk to Mormons all the time. I would be ready for it. I'm like, yeah, here comes some Mormons. Let's and but I haven't talked to any kind of missionaries in a while. I'm all we need. Yeah, so I haven't talked to any in quite a while in person, like in person. But of course, I've had Christian guests on here. They stopped showing at my door after I handed out a few copies of Stephen Mitchell's translation. And it's something that here in Galveston I don't see very frequently, almost ever. I mean, we hardly ever see anybody going door to door with religious stuff. It just rarely happens. I don't even see them in any other neighborhoods. I think maybe they don't have very much success in Galveston. Maybe that's what it is, because Galveston is more of a what you would call I think it's more of a liberal progressive town or city. And I would doubt that they would have much success going door to door in Galveston. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of Christians in Galveston. There are a lot of churches, but it's more of a progressive liberal Christianity even here in Galveston. Galveston's egalitarian, yeah, and it's more like even the Christians, even the churches here. Now you have some fundamentalist churches. There are some, no doubt. And there are more there are some Assembly of God type churches here too, but for most of the Christians here in Galveston, the churches are more progressive leaning. I think more liberal progressive leaning. Never been to my door. It could be because I'm in bumfuck Egypt. I haven't been to Galveston in like 40 years. Yeah, you should visit Balrog and hit me up, man. Come see me. Where are you, Balrog? Happy Friday, Joanna. Yeah, I did enjoy spring break. I'm not ready for it to be over. I had a cabana to set up this morning, and it was a long setup. We actually had to do it twice. Then I had to go take it down. We've got one to set up in the morning, so I got to get up tomorrow morning pretty early to go set up a cabana for my Cabana Business. Yeah, it does. I still feel hurt when I see my ethnic brothers. Oh, brethren, convert to Christianity. I know. I know. Because let me see how to word this, because let's see how to word this. I don't like to see anybody convert to any religion, really, like Christianity or Islam or any of the dualistic separatory religions. It just, spring break usually in March. Yeah, it is here. New York. I think I knew that. Fell in love with Galveston Island, so we vacationed there a couple times. Nice. Yeah, you need to come back. Come back and see me. We can get some coffee or whatever. I hate to see anybody convert to religions like Christianity or Islam or any, Mormonism, any of those religions that just push and perpetuate the illusion of separation, which means they're pushing people further into their own suffering, into that illusion. And so that, I don't like to see that. And, but it is what it is. I mean, people do convert because they don't know any better, nobody's around to wake them up. And I mean, especially, I could see where it really is even more upsetting for you, because they're going from, the path of at least a non-dual path to something like Christianity, which is so far removed. It's not that anyone's around. Yeah, wake them up because no one can wake another up. And that's true. But they're not hearing it, I think. It's that there aren't enough people for them to, they're not being surrounded by Catholics, right? But you heard, there was a voice, there was, tell Jess I said, hey, there was, yeah, you went searching and you found it, and you found that voice. So for me, there was nobody to wake me up as far as coming out of Christianity, but a voice that moved me in the right direction and helped me embark on my own path post Christianity was Alan Watts. I mean, I just accidentally happened upon him. I just came upon this guy, heard something from him, and I was like, who is this guy? I've never heard of him. What is he talking about? It sounds so interesting. And when I heard him, it just connected with me. And it was like, oh, this is something here. I need to look into this. And that helped propel me onto my own path. And he opened up a door to me. He opened up all these doors to me to investigate and journey through Taoism and Zen Buddhism and Advaita Vedanta and, these different non-duality philosophies and wisdoms. And being free from religion is amazing. It is. And so, it helps to come across someone who is speaking different things that you haven't heard of, right? That you haven't heard. It helps to come across someone where when they say something, it resonates with you, and it's a springboard, and it pushes you on into that direction towards awakening or realizing, Pierre Grimes. I'm not sure who Pierre Grimes is. I'm going to have to look him up. Learning about non-duality did the same for me. Right, me too. I was Baptist for a while, then went Torah, observant before I woke up. Yeah. Most use religion, things outside themselves to feel better. That's true, Sarah. Damn, that Sam was good. How'd you make it? Baptist for a while, busting, then Torah observant before I woke up. I know a lot of people that went Torah observant. They became basically Messianic Jewish, believed in Jesus. They claimed they were Messianic Jewish converts. I know a lot of people that went that direction. Playing with fire, lying to people. Well, I'm not lying, number one. I bet you think different after the rapture. Oh, man. Yeah, the rapture is a fiction, a total fiction. A fiction among the fictions. But it's okay, my friend. You can continue to believe that, but it is a fiction, as long as you know. When I hop on the live with you, I'll tell you how. Okay. Awesome. Jesus Christ can afford to be misunderstood. We cannot. Found him on the New Thinking Aloud with Jeffrey Mishlove some years ago. Huh, I have not heard of that. Interesting. Ball rock. I actually laughed the first time I ever heard about the rapture. Yeah. What do you think of hedonism? Grimes was friends with Alan Watts. How have I never heard of Grimes? That's wild. What was the name again? What was Pierre Grimes? Pierre Grimes. Okay, got him. I pulled him up. He's on my browser, so I can look him up. I'm glad you told me about Pierre Grimes. Our weakness lies in always wanting to vindicate ourselves. Ooh, that's ego, isn't it? And that's what Vishnu. What do you think of hedonism? Well, let me think about that. Hang on, I want to answer that. Afternoon. Okay, yeah, I'll elaborate that in a minute. But hedonism. Well, living in the moment is, any isms. I think any isms are just unnecessary and irrelevant. Because, whatever one wants to label it or call it, the awakened state is a present state. It's someone who, or it is awareness of the absolute moment, this present moment right here that is all that exists, right? And when you are in this moment right here, fully present, fully aware of this moment, I suppose that someone could, well, I don't want to say that. I mean, to call it anything would be a shame, really. To call it anything, hedonism or atheism or theism or whatever it is would really be a shame, because it really isn't anything. It doesn't fall under any label. Because all that exists is right now, this moment, this present moment is all that exists. And there's nothing to label this moment. It's just, I'm calling it this moment, but it's not a moment either. It is. It is, right? So even to label it a moment or the present is really not correct. It's incorrect, because by saying present, I'm giving credence to, I'm giving some sort of weight to a past that doesn't exist. It's almost as if I'm saying the past exists and it doesn't, or the future exists and it doesn't. When you label something even the present, even just speaking that word assumes or gives some sort of weight to a past, and the past doesn't exist, or gives some sort of weight to the future and it doesn't exist. This I am, is, being, right here, right now, existence. Existence is right here, right now, right? And so I don't think hedonism has anything to do with that. I don't think atheism has anything to do with that. Theism has anything to do with that. Agnosticism has anything to do with that. I don't think any label has anything to do with what is right here in this moment, this existence that is. That's all it is. And there's really nothing we can label it. There's nothing we can call it. The ocean of being, this moment right here, is what it is. One of the penalties of sin is our acceptance of it. Acceptance of sin, like acceptance that there's actual sin. Hey, what's up, Tim, my friend? Good to see you. I'm glad you're here. The acceptance that it exists, yeah, that's... If there's a sin, that's it, because there is no sin. Sin doesn't exist. Thank you. Sin doesn't exist. So yeah, one of the things that is awesome. Thank you guys. Thank you, Brent. One of the things that is unfortunate is when we accept the existence of sin. Especially things like original sin. When we accept that belief and we believe the belief of ancient human beings telling us that we are born in original sin, that starts us off on the wrong foot, because it isn't true. Original sin is a lie. And I think there's a TikTok guy. His name on TikTok is Original Sin is a Lie. He's got some good stuff. I think I follow him. I'm pretty sure I do. And I think he's written a book about that. I think it's called Original Sin is a Lie. I haven't read it. I probably should, because it sounds interesting. I think he's an interesting guy. Yeah, sin doesn't exist. Sin is a human concept. It's a religious concept. Sin is a religious concept, so that makes it a belief. If you believe in sin, it exists for you. But it's not true. Sin doesn't exist. Would you say one has to be mentally healthy to accept oneness? Well, mentally healthy would be in that awareness and state of oneness. So you can't be mentally healthy as long as you are believing in the illusion of separation. It doesn't exist. Access point 37. It does not. That's a story I'm going to have to tell in a little while. It has to do with our Cabana setup. Godfrinsky is my friend Jay. We teach together and we have the Cabana Business together. So being mentally healthy, is being in that awareness of oneness. So it would be impossible to be mentally healthy without being in the awareness of oneness. So if the definition, which I think it is, I think the definition of mentally healthy is being fully aware of this moment, present moment, which is all that exists, and being fully aware of the non-dual existence and nature of reality or existence, being fully aware of the illusion of separation and that it doesn't exist. That would be mentally healthy. So anything outside of that awareness and that understanding would, by definition, I think, be not mentally healthy. So you couldn't become mentally healthy and then come to an awareness of that, because awareness of that is mentally healthy, I think. What's the Cabana Business? You haven't heard of this? Oh, man. Yeah. Well, I share it on my Facebook all the time and Instagram, but it's a business, the Cabana Business. I'm stuck that there's an access point 38. Okay, yeah, let me tell you guys the story. So my friend Jay and I have this Cabana Business, Island Time Cabanas. It's islandtimecabanas.com. And here in Galveston, we have a beach cabana reservation business. So people go online, they choose a cabana package that they want, they select the date, reserve the cabana package for their day, and when the day comes, Jay and I go and we set it up for them on the beach, and they enjoy it for the day, and then we go tear it down afterwards, so they don't have to lug all their stuff to the beach, and it just makes for a really good beach experience for them. And it's a good business, and it's fun. We enjoy it a lot, and it's our own, so that makes it even better. Well, today we had a setup. It was pointed out that it was specified to us we're going to be at Beach Access 38, which is way down on the west end of the island, a 30-minute drive almost. So we get up this morning, load everything up, go all the way down 30 minutes down the road, set it up at Beach Access 38, Access Point 38, come all the way back home to the mid part of the island, which is a 30-minute drive. It's a long island. Jay goes home, gets a shower. I come home and I get a call from the guest. We just got to the beach and we don't see anything set up anywhere. And I was like, oh man, did our stuff get stolen? Yeah, Vic, we'd need a professional website. We really do, because ours is not. We've been talking about how it's not very professional. My rickquestionsthings.com is much more professional because it was a different template that I used, our theme. But so we had to go all the way back out. We get to access like 37, and that's where they are. So they gave us the wrong access point. We walked a mile down the beach, tore down our stuff, and walked a mile back, hauled it all about a mile back, and set it back up for them. And it just made for a crazy. These aren't wireless access points, no. No, these are beach access points. Vic, I need to talk to you about that. And I thought about it the other day, actually. I thought about talking with you about it. We just haven't done any work on it, but I'm going to talk to you soon about revamping our website. Yeah, for sure. 100%. 100%. Vishnu, I really appreciate your questions. Those are great questions. Really good questions. Jay, are you still on? Let's see. I'll put some cool wave visuals in that. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Are you at Beerfoot or no? So despite the sauce, yeah, the parrots have all flown the coop. I know. It's TikTok. I'm telling you. Think you in? What? Yeah, I may have to knock off and get back on, hop back on. Oh, I'm taking care of my dog that's scared of thunder. Yeah, that storm passed though, thankfully. But that was a nice little storm we had. We're in danger of being stern where God is tender, and of being tender where God is stern. Stern where God is tender, tender where God is stern. Oh, you think I need to go live again? Yeah, Bustin', I think so too. I'm probably gonna kill the TikTok live and go. I probably shouldn't have said the K word, but I'm still here. And jump back on. Probably should do that multiple times. Every 30 minutes. I always say every hour I'm going to knock off and get back on because I can't give you something to... I always say I'm going to do that like every hour because when I go past an hour, TikTok makes it almost impossible for me to download the live. So that was that was awesome. All right. So I'm going to knock off. I'm going to log off. I'm going to keep, hey, Paige, what's up? I'm going to keep the YouTube stream going. I'm not going to stop that. But I'm going to stop the TikTok live. And how's my background? Should I change my background up? Religion is bondage. You don't need a God. No Jesus, no devil, no hell. Yeah, I think I'm just not in the algorithm lately. Oh, you like it? It's good as it is? Okay. I can make it. I'm going to leave it. Change it? Oh, got conflicting opinions here. Make it spicier. That would do the trick. What could I make it? How could I make it spicier? Not in the algorithm. Who knows? I don't know how TikTok works, honestly. I miss a Spicy Rick live, so entertaining. Yeah, I'll start having guests on here in a little bit. With this cold, I'm not going to go too late. Jesus never existed. That would be spicy. All right, I'll think of something. So I'm gonna jump off, and then I'll be back on here in just a little bit. Many former colonial subjects see Christianity as a way to be part of the Western establishment. Oh, I bet. Yes. Guess I better move to YouTube. Yeah, Jesus as a background. I could put Jesus on the background. Okay, I'm gonna knock off, and then I'll be back. Oh yeah, YouTube. That is uncommonly low for views. I think I'm definitely getting not getting seen, which is okay. It really doesn't matter. Not in the long run. It doesn't matter in the long run. Spicy. 8 seconds behind TikTok. It is. Yeah, I know. There's a lag. There's a weird lag with YouTube. And I don't know if it's because I'm running through OBS Studio. That's possible. Oh man, this cold is killing me. Spicy Rick coming up. Let me see. Let me think about this. Let me think about this background. Let me look at some of my old backgrounds that I used to use. I feel like when I say ex-Christian, it gets spicy. I didn't get notified on TikTok. Oh, that's weird. Definitely a long lag. There's a long lag on the YouTube stream. Yeah, I figured that. No, I figured that out. The Balrog. Let's see. Ex-Christian, ex-pastor. I could put ex-Christian, ex-pastor. But then I get all the parrot comments. He was never a Christian. He was never a pastor. Here we go. This is a good one. Ex-Christian, ex-pastor. Jesus isn't coming back. Religion is bondage. Wake up. Be free. You are what you're seeking. I haven't used that one in a while. The parrots will come out for ex-Christian. Yeah, you never were a real Christian. Which one is this? This is... Okay, so I'll use this one, I think. Oh, this cold is kicking my ass. I'm going to be sniffling all night. Yeah, I'll just use that one. All right. You get the behind the scenes on the YouTube stream. Behind the scenes.
What would you do if you checked your bank account and suddenly found out you were a millionaire? That happened to a former Louisiana sheriff's dispatcher.
Louisiana. Dang. Bank error in your favor. COVID is currently killing me. Oh, man, I know, Paige. I'm so sorry. I hope you get better soon. That sucks. I hate that. I got ordained through ULC. It's fun saying that I'm an ordained atheist. I never was a true Christian. Oh, that's awesome. Oops. Many Mormons are also polytheists, hence have no problem in accepting the resurrection without research. Right, that's so true. That is true. That is a great point. Great point. Which was the background? I think it's this one. Ex-Christian, pastor, Jesus is coming back. Wake up, be free. You are what you're seeking. Yeah, there we go. Let me go live again. See what this does. Look, if this doesn't bring the parrots or viewers, then yeah, there's something wrong here. There's something missing. I'm gonna drop this a little bit. Maybe like that. There we go. X. I'll put ex-Christian on the label. Everything. I can't see that whole comment. I don't like that. I wish I could see this better. There's got to be a way to see this. To be fair, everything is everything. Moving back to TikTok so I can see the funny comments. Yeah, to be fair, everything is everything. Everything is everything. That's true. And there's no thing. There are no things. There's no such thing as things. No such things as things. To see how the sausage is made. That's funny. There's Paige. All right, boop, I'm back. There's Steph. Welcome back. Sorting my books here. All right. Live number 2. Second live. Oh, good. I have my website on this one. I didn't even look. Balrog's back. Did Serge join? I wonder if Serge joined. I know Serge is online because it just told me. There's Vishnu. Good, good. Why be alive only once when you can be alive more than once? This is my second time to be alive tonight. Invite another creator to co-host. Oh, no, I don't. I've never done that. Well, I haven't done that since Josiah. Josiah and I used to do that. But that was back in the day when Josiah and I would have the, now 6'5", yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. It may go whoop, and then whoop. We'll see. Josiah and I used to go live a lot there in the beginning of my TikTok days. And we would, he was a Christian, I suppose, and I'm not. And so we would have all these conversations back and forth, and I thought it was pretty fun. And that's how I started TikTok. That's why I created a TikTok account. I agree with all this. Oh, hello, Jeff. It'll jump. Now we just have to be interesting. Right. So I would have these conversations with Josiah. He's an old Christian friend of mine, and we haven't spoken in a little while because Jesus has his arms open waiting for you to return. Well, he's not, because Jesus doesn't exist. So he's not, he doesn't have arms to open, in other words. Have you talked to him lately? Oh, you're ex-Mormon. Interesting. Mormonism is so wild, isn't it? It's so wild. What a wild game Mormonism is. I haven't talked to him in a while. The last time we talked, I asked him why he unfriended me on TikTok. And am I atheist? I don't label myself. I asked him why he unfriended me, and he said he's trying to get rid of negative energy in his life. So I think some of the things that I talk about were starting to affect him, and it scared him. He and his wife both unfriended me. A lot of Adventists will worship gods they don't believe in. It's so true. So true. Does it concern you if he comes back and takes his children and not you, my friend? It does not concern me at all, because I know that it's not true. I have a Master's of Arts in Religion from Westminster Theological Seminary. I've done my research. I was a pastor for years. I have researched, and I have intellectually concluded that Christianity is not true, that Jesus is not coming back. Jesus is not coming back. We're positive energy, if anything. See, it is. It's just going to go. Saying Jesus doesn't exist is a big claim. You can't know he isn't real. Yes, I can. No one sees him. No one sees him. He does not exist. Did he exist? Not the Jesus of the New Testament. That Jesus never, ever, ever existed. That's a fabrication. Was a guy named Jesus on the earth at some point that some of these stories were loosely based on? Maybe, but maybe not. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the Jesus you read about in the New Testament does not exist. He never existed. Doesn't exist. So no, it doesn't concern me. It doesn't concern me that Jesus, is going to come back, because I know he's not going to come back. If you go to rickquestionsthings.com, I've written about why he's not going to come back. When you read the New Testament and it talks about Jesus coming, it's talking about the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE. That's what it's talking about. That was the judgment of God and the coming of Jesus. Thank you for the gifts, Trix. I appreciate that. That's what it's talking about when it is referring to the coming of Jesus. It's talking about the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE by the Romans. The Romans came back. The Romans came in, sacked Jerusalem, destroyed the temple, took Israelites into captivity. And after that event, thank you. After that event, I appreciate that. After that event, we have these stories taking place. We have these stories being written down that are fabrications. They're just offering, thank you. They're offering a reason, an interpretation of the events that occurred in 70 CE. That's it. That's all it is. That's all the New Testament is about. You are what you're seeking. That's powerful. Yes, you are what you're seeking. Exactly. And you don't need religion or God or any of those things that are irrelevant. They're absolutely irrelevant to the present moment. You don't need those things to discover that you are what you're seeking. Over 12,000 biblical prophecies have been fulfilled in the New Testament. No, that is not true. That's a belief. They were fabricated. You understand that I could write something as a prophecy right now that's fulfilling something in the old, old writings, and I could fabricate that. That's exactly what the New Testament is. It's fabrication, absolute fabrication. Read your word. I've translated more of the Bible than most Christians have read. I have a master's degree from Westminster Theological Seminary as a pastor for several years. I learned Hebrew. I learned Greek. I've translated more Bible than most Christians have read. And I've read the Bible so many times, more than most Christians. And that's just the truth. And going through that, I discovered that Christianity is not true. And it was an intellectual discovery. What's up? What's up? Princess Givy. Pickle Rick in the house. So going through that, I discovered that it's not true intellectually. It wasn't emotional. It wasn't anything else. It was an intellectual departure. And I've written about that departure on rickquestionsthings.com. You never knew the Lord, Rick, but he's still waiting for you. But I know I never knew the Lord in the way you mean it, because the Lord doesn't exist to know. Now, did I know about what's written about him? Yes, absolutely, because I have translated and studied for years and years more than most Christians have in their entire lives. Nothing worse than a bitter crew. Oh, I'm not bitter at all. At all. I'm just speaking truth. Speaking truth. But it's funny you project your bitterness onto me. I go up and read what I said. Let's see. Let me try to find it. Rick and Vic. Pickle Rick. Rick and Vic. Intellectual discovery based on what? Well, it started with understanding the historical context of the New Testament. That's where it started. Do you believe in an afterlife? I don't believe anything. I don't believe in anything. There's nothing to believe in. Thank you for the gifts, guys. I appreciate it. Miss Maya and Trix. There's nothing. Belief is irrelevant. You don't have to believe anything. Belief is a part of the bondage of religion. The Bible said to also wear head covering anytime you enter the church. Right. Yeah, that's true. Very true. Very true. Thanks for the corn. The man is doing the Lord's work. Thank you, Action. Maybe they're hiding the parrots from me. What happened to you not believe in Jesus, to make you not believe in Jesus anymore? Nothing happened to me. There's too many people. I think you didn't see my last question. I didn't. Nothing happened to me. I intellectually departed from the religion. I discovered it wasn't true. And I've written about that. You can go to rickquestionsthings.com. And particularly, I would direct you to, if you go to rickquestionsthings.com and click on posts, you can, and actually what you can do, if you want to know why I left Christianity and why Christianity isn't true, you can actually go to categories and just click on Christianity. And the posts that are about this topic will come up, because that's not all I write about. But I would say you should probably read Why I Am No Longer a Christian. There's a post called Why I Am No Longer a Christian. There's a post called Matthew 24 and the Coming of Jesus as well. And I think those lay it out pretty well. There's also a post called The Truth Behind the Resurrection of Jesus. And I show you why Jesus was never resurrected from the dead, and that he and what the resurrection is all about. Because Jesus was not resurrected. He's not coming again. Christianity is not true. What made you believe it wasn't true? Not interested in your blog. Say it. Well, not interested in my blog. Well, I mean, if you're interested in truth, you should go read it, because I'm able to lay it out in detail, and I'm walking through scriptures and texts, which I'm not going to do a Bible study on a TikTok live. But if you're actually interested in truth and not just a blog, then you should go read it, especially if you want to know what the Bible says about the coming of Jesus and why it's not about a future coming of Jesus. You should go look at Matthew 24 and the coming of Jesus that I've written about. Because Matthew 24, when it talks about Jesus coming, it's talking about, in any case that it's talking about Jesus coming again, it's talking about the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 CE by the Romans. So that's what these people were writing about after the fact. After those events took place, they write about it as though it hasn't happened. It's called prophetic hindsight. So they're writing in the future after 70 CE and the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans. They're looking back on it, not going to do a Bible study on TikTok Live. I hope you still feel that way after April. Are you predicting the coming of Jesus? Because I would bet my life, I would bet everything that I have that he is not coming in April, because he's never coming back, ever. What's up, Sarah? Have you considered worshiping your ancestral clan deities, or is it kind of? Well, oh, thank you, Porch Princess. I worshiped Jesus because I was born in the United States, right? And 99% of Christians worship Jesus because of their default mechanism, their programming. But I no longer worship Jesus because I did my own research and I intellectually worked my way out of the religion. Intellectually. Not the Easter Bunny. What about... What's up, Brittany? How's it going? God opposes the proud but shows favor to the humble. Well, there is no God to oppose anything, and there's no God to show favor. That is a belief. You are telling me what you believe, not what is true, and not what you know. You're telling me what you believe, and there's no way of getting around it. You are always going to tell me what you believe. Hey, Brittany. What's up, guys? You guys are over there partying, I think. Jay was on here too a while ago. That is not the only statement of the return. No, but that is what the return is about. When the Bible talks about Jesus coming again, it's talking about the destruction of Jerusalem by the Romans in 70 CE. That's it. That's it. How do you think all these Satan lovers in Hollywood? Who do you think all these Satan lovers in Hollywood follow? Well, there is no Satan either, my friend. So it isn't just your God that doesn't exist. It's also Satan that doesn't exist. It's a belief. It's a belief. Yes, Lucy, you are right that there is truth. Well, existence is truth. This moment, this present moment is truth. And that's all you need. You are this moment. You can't escape this moment. You can't escape the present. And that's why you are what you're seeking. You're always looking for something out there. Out there. You're looking in the past. You're looking in the future. You're looking out there for some God to tell you who you are, a book to tell you who you are. But none of that is true. That's just belief. I might have to get another cough drop. You're going to get a hell of a surprise. Well, you know what? Surf, I hope you come back in May with a whole new understanding. I hope you come back in May and go, you know what? This was all bullshit and I was wrong. So let me read your stuff and let me figure out the truth. You got to put the spicier stuff at the bottom instead of the top. Oh, okay. So I need to change it again because things cover it. Oh, yeah, I was wondering about that because it's covered on my end. I believe Vedic deities manifested to Europeans as Odin, Thor, and Zeus. Ah, yeah. I bet. Y'all keep saying he's coming back, right? It's just not going to happen. And the Surf is saying that it's going to be in April. And I think Surf is a troll. I don't think he really believes this. I think he's just messing around. I don't believe in Jesus. I know he's real. Well, no, you believe he's real, because to know he is real, you would have to see him and touch him. And, but you don't know he's real. Only person coming back is Rick on this live every Friday. That's right. Yeah. You believe he's real. The truth is, I think May. So not April. Sir, you are definitely a troll. You are definitely a troll. You are joking with us. You're messing with us. There's no way you believe this. Exact plan now. There's no way you believe that Jesus is coming back in April or May. There's no way. You are totally fucking with us. You gotta be. What makes you think Jesus is coming back in April or May now? What makes you think Jesus is coming back in April or May? Tell me. It's definitely going to happen. It's definitely not going to happen. Yeah, he's on cloud 10. Thank you, Action Jackson. I appreciate you, my friend. Yeah, April 1st. You are totally messing with us now. I know you are. So, hey, Surf, if you know he's coming back in April or May, why don't you send me all your money, because you don't need it anymore. So you can find my Cash App on my profile. You send me all your money to prove to me that Jesus is coming back. What's up, my mental? You send me all your money to my Cash App, everything you have, to prove to me that Jesus is coming back. If you do that, then I'll be waiting, and I'll halfway believe you. But you send me all your money. Saw this back in the Gulf War. I had 3 dreams. Well, like I said, send me. Do you believe it enough to send me all your money? Cyber design is my Venmo. No, I already claimed it, Vic. About being a mermaid. Don't let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths. Well, it is actually wholesome to call religion out for being bondage and to expose the truth that Christianity is not true. Just the look on your face that day. Just send me your money and prove it. You don't believe it. You don't believe it because you still have a job, I bet. You still have money in your account. You still own things. You don't believe it. There's no way. You're on TikTok, for God's sake. You don't believe it. If you really believed that Jesus was coming back next month in April or May, you would not be sitting on this TikTok live. Good grief, man. That's hilarious. Surf, you are definitely a troll. You're definitely a troll. 100%. But you got me. We're all fucked. Good grief, man. Man, there's no fucking way you think that's true. There's no way. I knew it. That's awesome. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. What about abortion? My mental. Send me that in a message. I don't know how well TikTok will take that topic. You know what I mean? Send me that in a message. Let me respond to you in a message on that one. Just because I don't know how well TikTok will Surf, thanks for the follow. That's so great. Yeah, I agree. That's a tough thing to just bring up. Yeah. And I just don't know how your perspective is perfect. Well, thank you, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. I don't know how TikTok will react. Was it too stressful to lead a congregation? Many would appreciate you as a leader. It was stressful, but I was wholeheartedly genuine and sincere, a believer in Jesus, and believed that I was, doing God's work as a minister, as a pastor. So it was stressful because I believed that I carried all this weight on my shoulders, even though I believed in a sovereign God, that really was in control. It still was stressful. I've seen plenty, but I don't trust the, yeah, right, Paul. Yeah, Philly, I'm just curious your take on it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, send me that, my mental. But it was stressful, but it was something that I wholeheartedly believed in, It was my life. I mean, it was everything to me. I wanted to be God's messenger, a shepherd of the flock. I wanted to preach the truth, what I believed was the truth, and preach the gospel and lead God's people, through sanctification and all those kinds of things. But it was a lot of weight. I mean, it was a lot of weight, and it was a 24-hour a day gig, because I would get calls, regularly in the middle of the night, people going through this problem or that problem. And, I wouldn't just preach. I mean, we had a real close, tight-knit group, and so we would meet regularly, almost daily. And, I would do weddings and funerals, and when someone would pass away, I'd do the funeral and have to deal with all of that. You were a pastor? I was a pastor, Brent. Yeah. I'll be right back. I need some medicine or something. I know I took some Dayquil before I went live. Dayquil and NyQuil have been really helpful. Maybe an easier question. What about good and bad? Well, good and bad don't ultimately exist. They don't ultimately exist. Good and bad, the ideas of good and bad, those are human concepts, of course. And the ideas of good and bad are culturally and historically relative. When someone hurts someone. Yeah, so according to human concept, right? I mean, we have various, there were, we label things as good and bad with our mind. Exactly. When people hurt. So my mental, so here's kind of a way to look at it. So it's a human concept. Okay. But they are human concepts that we operate by, right? And society operates by. So you do find different ideas of good and bad throughout culture, different cultures and different times. And as far as someone hurting someone, you find various positions on that throughout cultures and time as well. I mean, if you look at South America and the Mayans, and you had human sacrifices and things like that, that's hurting other humans, and it was acceptable, right? So you have all these variations throughout time and culture, but history and culture. But if you go outside in the front yard, and I have a couple of little ant mounds in the front yard, because hold on. Is there some supernatural reason why many Christians are unnaturally nice? Oh, good question. Hell is real. I've heard it from more than one person. I have a couple of ant piles in the front yard, and I love them, and I leave them there because my son and I like to go just sit and watch them work, right? And if you go out and you see two ant mounds go to war, you don't label it good or bad, right? It just is what's happening. It's nature happening. Well, but if you see, something similar in the human world, suddenly we call it good or bad or evil and right or wrong or whatever, right? Why are bears good? Why is a rainbow good? It just is. Oh man, that's awesome. I love it. I haven't seen that movie in a long time. Dirt. It just is, right? Yeah, everything just is. It's happening. And that's what I mean when I say it's a happening. I don't mean that we should go out and hurt people and all that kind of stuff. I don't mean that at all, right? I mean that everything that does happen is a happening of existence. It really is. And so when you're watching ants go to war, right? Or if you turn on the Discovery Channel and you watch a lion attack a gazelle or something like that. It may feel weird or bad, like, I don't want to see that. but you know that it's just a happening, right? It's nature doing what nature does. It's just existence doing what existence does. And we don't label it good or bad. And the same thing is, we aren't separate from nature. We aren't different from nature. We are nature. And so in truth, ultimately, there is no good or bad, right or wrong, evil or good or whatever. It is all the happening of existence, it's nature doing what nature does, right? But the human concepts exist. And so here I am in America, in Texas, we have local laws and rules and all these kinds of things, right? And so there are consequences. And we've also been conditioned and brought up to think a certain way. For instance, if you were brought up in the Mayan culture in South America, you wouldn't see anything wrong with human sacrifice. You would look up at the pyramid and see them cutting out a heart, right? And you would just go, okay. I'm good leaving religion and the Bible behind. I try to figure out how to live in this mindset. Right. So if you are aware of the present moment, fully aware in this moment, right? And you are living in that meditative state of awareness that is this moment, then there's nothing natural in you that is arising to just go harm people. That's not something that's going to naturally happen in this moment, right? Those things are conditioned. Those things are conditioned by our environment, and it's the play of the ego. It has everything to do with the ego. And when you understand ego and what ego is, that it really is an illusion, it's just a stream of all kinds of things creating the ego, and that you're not, deep down, the reality behind it is you're not a separate entity. When you understand that and the ego illusion dissolves, it's still there as a happening, but you know what it is, and you know it's not a separate entity. Then any kind of harm, any kind of conditioning from the culture, it's all egoic. It all has to do with the ego. So you don't find yourself doing those things. Ground people best. Yeah, ground. But I'm a good person doesn't mean that others are. No, I mean, people are going to act contrary to what you desire, right? It is the human concept that labels things good or bad, though. It really is. Does the gazelle think, damn, that lion's evil? That's an evil fucking lion, man. I don't think so, but it could. I mean, it might. But from our perspective, it isn't evil. It's just doing what it does. You missed my comment. I don't know. Maybe. The Pope confession? I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe. I'm not sure if I saw it or not. Many serious Christians tend to be nice. The opposite with Muslims. Yeah. There has to be an energetic difference. Yeah, those are, yeah, I mean, there are, there are different sects but in both religions that tend to be on the nicer scale or the meaner scale. But they're all sliding on that scale. I'm trying to be respectful while you try to answer my question. I'm sorry, Ned, I don't know that I saw your question. Oh man, I'm gonna have to get another cough drop, I think. Maybe to clear my nasal passages. I understand that. I guess when my daughter gets bullied, yeah, I handle it, but then I look back with, let me see what the rest of that is. But yeah, I mean, and that is, I had to put a cough drop in my tea this morning. Allergies are kicking my ass too, man. Raise our children kindly, and so that there's nothing wrong with that either. Is chamomile, like chamomile lemon. So it's probably making me sleepy. That's why these lives. That's what I've been drinking. think I shot the Holy Spirit dove. Yeah, let us on the live. Did you guys request? Yeah, go ahead and request. Fast. He said the church is a fraud, but the one thing he says about, well, the Bible is not true. So, and the church is a business, and I think there are genuine people in the church, and I think there are genuine churches, genuine believing what they believe. So I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't make a blanket statement that the churches are a fraud or anything like that. But he must be talking about the Roman Catholic Church. That's a fraud. But I think there are genuine Catholics. I think there are. Oh, he's referring to the Pope. Yeah, I think there are genuine Catholics. There are genuine Protestants. There are genuine Muslims. But I think the Pope is a fraud himself. Honestly, the Pope is a fraud. He's got to be. You can't get to that position and not be a fraud and not know that these things aren't true. Hypothetically, if the devil, great deceiver, was real, is it possible you were deceived? See, hypotheticals, again, I was talking about hypotheticals earlier. You can hypothetically speak of all kinds of things. Hypothetically, if Zeus is real, are you going to be judged by Zeus? Hypotheticals are just absurd. They're irrelevant. Left the moment those church documents were released. That's so suspicious. I guess I don't really know. Haven't followed what's going on. But the devil doesn't exist. So hypothetically, there's too many. No, it's not an important question. It's an irrelevant question because the devil isn't real. The devil doesn't exist. There is no devil. There's no Satan. Jesus is not alive. All of that is irrelevant. It's just a Bible. I mean, a belief. I read that comment. It's just a belief. It's a belief in the devil. You believe in the devil. You believe, maybe not you, but you believe. I'm not saying you, Ned, because I don't know what you believe, but I'm saying people believe in the devil. People believe in Jesus, right? You don't understand what I'm saying. Why say the church is a fraud, truth, and then lie about Oh, yeah, the OG Pope stepped down, and there's a new Pope soon. Oh, what's up, Knuckles? Oh, man, my allergies are killing me. All right, my mental, Vic, if you guys want to, if you want to request, let me make sure my volume's up, too, so I can hear guests. Oh, sorry, I'm sniffling all over the place. What's up, Knuckles?
No worries. So you're an ex-pastor?
Yeah. Let off the small print.
Like at a mega church?
No, not a mega church. I'd be a millionaire. I probably would have kept going. I probably would have overlooked my integrity.
So what denomination was it?
Well, I was raised Church of Christ. A documentary on it comes out Sunday. Oh, I'm going to have to look for that. What is it called? Do you know what it's called? Hold on one sec. It's hard to convey it through comments. Oh, okay. You say it respectfully. No, I don't doubt that you say it respectfully. I was raised Church of Christ and theologically reformed, evolved into Reformed theology, Calvinism, went to Westminster Theological Seminary. I never became a Presbyterian, even though it's a Presbyterian seminary, because I saw myself as a reformer, so I tried to stay in the Church of Christ as long as I could. I was at a non-denominational church that used to be a Church of Christ while I was in seminary, but when I got out of seminary, I went back to the Church of Christ, and didn't last a long time because of theology. It was just too conflicting. And then was a pastor to Reformed Baptist Church for a little while, and then got into the house church movement and planted house churches for a while. But I was a pastor maybe 7 or 8 years.
Cool. Now, so do you find yourself...
Oh, the two popes. I think I've seen that.
Holding these beliefs, live a secular life, or do you some of them?
No, I don't. I left Christianity